first. Testing.
Hello, everybody. Okay. Yeah. I think TTS, the website I have for the TTS, is kind of bugging out. Has this little limit thing. I think I might have to fix that. But I'm gonna probably do some background stuff. So in other words, I'm gonna try to fix it while talking to you guys. Cause this is going to bug me. And this needs to get fixed, like ASAP. So. How's everybody doing? This might be my second to last stream. I'm not sure if I'm streaming tomorrow. Probably not. So it might be the last stream, might not be. Who knows what I'll have plans tomorrow. So at the moment, I'd say it's not gonna be likely. But okay. Large channel points. Go here. Alright, what to do? Okay. TTS limit. It's already it's getting close to the limit. That's not good. I don't know if there's a way around that though. I might have to disable the TTS until I can find a new one, because it means I have to get something to extend it, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to have to extend the stuff while I'm like, I don't want to have to pay money for all that, and that's not fair. Why do I have to do all that? It's not like I can just replace it and make it better. Let's look at features. The heck? Alright. I don't want to do this. I might have to disable this. Might have to disable it for right now. Until I'm disabling telepathy because I can't do anything with it. I can't find a way to get around the limit without having to pay for it. So I need to find a new TTS system. So that's while it lasted, but I have to find something else. So let's see what the thing actually says. TTS character limit hit on the website. Unlimited usage, it keeps the servers going. The thing is, that means I have to pay for it. And that's annoying. So, we're going old school. That means when I'm playing, what's it called? Cult of the Lamb, I won't be able to hear all the comments and stuff. I will just not be able to respond until later or something. That also goes for when I'm reading my fanfiction tonight. And I'm gonna try to make it as entertaining as possible, but I can't promise anything other than that. So what I'm gonna try to do is maybe find some TTS thing offline. Unless somebody is willing to tell me if there's something else that is free. I don't have to pay for it. And that doesn't have a freaking character limit. Because that's what's going to annoy me, is the character limit. So that was nice while it lasted. But now I'm very sad. Because I love the TTS, but not at the expense of my account. Not at the expense of my money. It's not worth it if I have to pay for it every month. $5 every month. Like, yeah, I get it. But I want to find a better alternative than that. That's me, though. But yeah, right now, I'm going to read my fanfiction to you guys. That means I'm gonna have to turn the lo-fi off. So, I could turn it on, just say I have a little background, but I kind of just want to get into the thing, so let's do this. Ew, my gosh, it's Inception all over again. Yeah, that's the behind the scenes stuff I was doing. I had to disable it. I couldn't really... What's it called? So yeah, I'm very sad. I really love the telepathy. I probably put it on too low. But I love the TTS to where I just kind of want it to be used. I don't really want it to be like a high redeem thing. So I will be looking into that soon. So I'll just make a new... Now where's the thing? Oh, there it is. So just writing a few reminders to myself. Very sad. Cool. So, in case anybody needs to know, you won't be able to use the TTS until I can find a new one. So, sorry about that. And I don't really want to spend all the stream trying to find a new system and make it work. I'll do that after stream. That's really annoying. Just let me recollect my thoughts because I need to be in a better mindset than I am right now. I'm kind of sad. But you know what? You move on. Probably said it a million times. Or at least said the same thing, but you know what? It's fine. Okay. It's fine. Alright. Wait, what? Huh? Hold on a second. This is some lo-fi. I need to see that. Right. Oh, yeah. Okay. Here. Go here. Here. Alright. I think you all can see this. If not, you can just do exclamation point Hogwarts to follow along. Alright. Report 2. The Teaching Life. Reporting Agent Crowfather. Reporting to Goddess of Death. Before I go any further, I will be reading all of the comments and stuff afterwards. So, just sit back and relax. Apologies for the long report last time. This time my reports will be much shorter. I have received your letters asking me about some details from my last report, so I'll answer here in my next official report. The first question you asked was about the journal entries I put in my last report. You see, I assigned a project to my students. All they had to do was write anything about their life, because life is culture, right? Thus, talking about it shows how different life is for everyone. Why did I write thus like I'm stuck in the 1400s? They could share them with the class or just give them to me by the end of the year. Meaning I was to end up with a lot of journals to grade. But as long as they wrote something, I didn't mind that much. But I do read them whenever I can. Mostly so not overworked. I put them in the reports because they fit the evidence requirement you wanted. You asked about the transcriptions? How was I able to do that? I used a charm. You know, the old charms to copy thoughts or memories on paper. I just did that to the pencil and then allowed the magic to guide me. It's better than the pensive thing XD has. Don't get me started on that. Speaking of XD, you wondered about how my mission is going. I will say that XD did do me a favor with what happened next. After that night, XD found out about what I did from Punk, noticing Tommy in the hospital wing. Since this happened, XD thought it would be great at keeping an eye on the students in other classrooms because the same thing happens in class too. He thought it best if I come in if a teacher wants me to come in and help. Professor Pix was the first to ask for my assistance, knowing that Muggle history was just as important as the history of magic. So it was a good idea to have me help with the Muggle side of history. Seems he has a good memory. I only vaguely remember passing his classes. Then again, remembering important dates is not my strong suit. In fact, I can barely remember birthdays on a normal day. Here's a transcription of how it went. Transcription of Pix meeting with me. Pix comes to the office. Sees Pix walk in. Professor Pix, what brings you to my office? Pix walks close to my desk. I was wondering if you'd be of help. I was wondering if you'd be able to help me in my class later on today. Sure, mate. Why me, though? I barely remember dates of important events. I gesture him to sit. Before you answer, though, please sit. Pex nods and sits down. Thank you. I also remember how passionate you were about Muggles. You wanted to bring people together, so I wanted to run something by you. Go on. Pix. I am having to rethink my curriculum. When I heard word that you were teaching Muggle studies, better yet, multicultural studies, I wanted to work with you. I know everyone gets bored in my class. Don't be so hard on yourself, Professor. History's just hard to grasp. I know, but then I wonder, what if I expanded on the meaning of history? In the past, it all started with stories you passed down to the young. I was planning on having the students write journal entries about their lives, as a way of sharing their culture with me. Brilliant idea! I can use those journals as a way of seeing history right before my eyes. Plus, I'd rather not force them to write so much. What if we tell them they get points for both their classes if they write it in? If they write in it. That could work. The first prompt has to be about themselves, which helps you as well. I was thinking of using class time to help brainstorm. Brilliant idea, mate. Transcription ends. That's how I ended up helping Pix out. I'll spare you the paper by summarizing. It went well. The first years loved it, along with the others. Of course, it was after a simple introduction of the course. I'll be getting into detail about this later in my next report if I can remember to do so. This was early in the morning, as in 8 a.m. Apparently, Professor Pix is a morning person. As I was heading back, the next professor, or should I say professors, I assisted, was Joel and Jimmy. If there was one major truth in Hogwarts, then it was that Joel and Jimmy were always rivals. But they do teach the students flying and Quidditch extremely well. I remember them coming to me after noticing that I was collabing with Pix. They were going to ask Pix since they were close, but I seemed to be perfect for today's flying lesson. They remembered me from my days playing Quidditch as a student. Thank the stars I still remembered how the game goes, because what happened next is something you're going to want to read to believe. Transcription of my meeting with Joel and Jimmy. I was brought to the Quidditch field by Jimmy and Joel. Me. I was just about to go back to my office. What the censor am I here? Because Jimmy thought it would be a great idea to add a new guy as referee to our lesson today. Jimmy looks at Joel with a look. First off, Joel, it was your idea. Second, he used to be our student, and he would often switch between us because he was the most flexible player and he was a good sport about it. The last time we started a lesson on the first day was a disaster. And all we did was argue. Yeah, we did do that, didn't we? Wait, Joel, yeah. Jimmy nods in agreement. Besides, isn't your boy a first year this year? Joel. Yes, I want to be a good influence, so that's where you come in, Phil. Me. What? What do you want me to do? Meh, Jimmy. Mainly keep us from fighting and along with us students as well. Especially if the students aren't anything like the two of us. Me. I think it over, then look at them. You two always fight, but that's sort of your charm. Long pause. But it does get out of hand. I think about it more. Yeah, sure, why not? Joel and Jimmy. Yes! Joel. Thank you, Phil. You have no idea how much this means to me. I mean us. Me. Out of curiosity, what's your son's name? I may have met him today. Joel. Hermes. Oh. I didn't know he was your son. They just kept mentioning how you were tall and handsome or something. I didn't understand what he was talking about. Jimmy busted up laughing so hard. You see? I told you. Joel looked annoyed beyond words. Me. Did I miss something? Joel calms down long enough to explain because he looked pissed. My son is taken after me. I'm embarrassed but also proud. Jimmy and I have been debating on what he says about me and sausage. Oh, he did mention sausage. I was surprised to hear he was both of your sons. I did debate on asking if he was adopted, but I chose not to. Joel noticed the silence. He is related by blood. It's a long story, but I have something to do with some magic both of us have. But not out here. Too many eyes. You're delusional. No one's around. I think he means something else, Jimmy. Joel, not. Plus, if XD hears me talking about it, he will not be happy. I noticed he was stressed about this. So, who are you teaching first, Joel? Actually, today we got some fourth years, Jimmy, and after that it's the first years. Why is the schedule like that? Jimmy, don't ask us. We didn't like this either. Want an idea of what we have planned today? Yes, please. The fourth years finally get to work in teams, mostly so we know how mostly so we know how they work as a team. Plus it'll be better if we can keep an eye on things. Having you here as a referee is helpful. When are they arriving? Should be arriving now. Transcription ended. So apparently having my first lesson with Pix wasn't enough to top my day. I had to be the referee in flying class, too. Remember Technoblade from my last report? He was in this fourth year class. I forgot he was a fourth year at the time, though, but two other fourth year students stood out to me. One student looked so tired he needed so much coffee just to keep awake. His name was George. He was a Hufflepuff who happened to be good at Quidditch. Keeper was his best position. The other students that caught my eye was Dream. Turned out he had a thing for wearing a mask. He didn't want to show his face to people. Thankfully, XD never cared to put a rule on masks. So as long as he could see, then that was fine. Dream was apparently the student I remember seeing at the feast. According to George, Dream was the talk of the school. Joel and Jimmy told me that he was really good at flying. Joel and Jimmy have had a hard time knowing what position he would be best at because he was a jack of all trades. Everyone has had their ideas, even XD, but I think everyone forgets the seeker position. It takes a trained eye to see fast objects, so I suggested they have the students try to play with the balls, bludger, quaffle, and the golden snitch. If you add Technoblade to the mix of students, it was no wonder the students couldn't focus. I've laid down another transcription for you to read for yourself. Transcription of flying class. Afternoon, students. Hello, professors. Jimmy. That gets me every time. Moves on to the lesson. Joel, you want to go first, or should I? You can go first, so I see you make a fool of yourself. I would love for... You go first, so I can see you make a fool of yourself. I would love to tell you off right now. You would love that, wouldn't you? Says that with sarcasm. Joel, Jimmy, now isn't the time. Right, sorry. Go ahead, Jimmy. Right, listen up. Today, got some fun plans today. We're going to practice Quidditch today, right off the bat. First, we get out the bludgers, so many fall beaters, and I don't want you lot to be beating each other, got it? Oh, the fourth year's nod, and some groan in disappointment. After the bludgers, it's the quaffle for you lot that loves chase. And finally, the golden snitch. Dream. Head perks up, showing interest. The golden snitch? Yep. Does anyone remember what the golden snitch is? George raises his hand. Ah, George, would you like to share with the class? George nods. It's a golden snitch. It's a golden ball with wings. Its wings flap faster than a common hummingbird, making it hard to catch. If caught, it gives 150 points, but it doesn't usually end the game. Correct. You get 5 points for that. Good reference on the hummingbird. Ah, that reminds me. Class, this Professor Filza. If you took your history lesson with Pix early this morning, you may have met him. Me. I've only had first, second, fifth, and seventh years today. I have third, fourth, and sixth tomorrow. At least you get to see him while doing some fun. History is important, but it's impossibly dry. Moving on back to the topic, which is why I'm doing my best to help in today's lesson. Right, we're going to play some Quidditch. But we are going to let you work with the balls first, just to get used to them. If you happen to catch the golden snitch, it means you may have a future as a seeker if you have really good eyesight. Do seekers look for the snitch? Yep, and try doing nothing else, but that depends on the team and its captain. Technoblade, wouldn't it be difficult if they needed their eyes peeled and they have to do other things? Yep. Not everyone's good at multitasking, Joel. Gives that stare you only know from a rival. Transcription ends. After this, they all work with the bludgers and the quaffle. But what you're about to see is something I thought you would love to see. I gave you a small beaker from this memory for you to see back. I recorded this memory using the same charm in the form of a narrative. Written description of memory. Everyone was playing with the bludgers at quaffle. This went on for a good 30 minutes, but felt like hours. Brooms were flying everywhere. It was peaceful in a way. Dream and Technoblade seemed to have a conversation. Sensing a bit of tension, I checked this out. Seems they both had a conversation on the best strat in Quidditch. Then they talked about the best positions in the game. At least it was class related. Dream looks at Technoblade. Okay, wise ass, what position do you think you'll be great at? In this annoyed tone that comes from an angsty teenager. Technoblade thinks about it and then goes, I'm pretty good at anything, but I haven't caught the snitch yet. Dream looks at him. Same here. Technoblade gives a look that only comes from a great idea. If one of us catches, then the loser has to admit to the winner. Admit to the winner is the best all-rounded Quidditch player of the year. Dream gives a daring but mischievous look. Oh, you're on. They look around for it, and after a while, the snitch flies next to me. Oddly enough, it just stayed there. Dream and Technoblade saw it right away. They dashed away towards the snitch. It went swerving around the stands, moving around them with little difficulty. I remember being a seeker, but often chose the keeper position. This was how I could keep up with the action. Dream swerved with the snitch to follow the pattern. Techno followed it, but from the inside of the field. Then it moved down towards the ground. It was a game of chicken. Dream and Techno followed it. They go down further and further. Neither one pulled away. Then it pulled up. So did they. Joel, Jimmy, and the rest of the class all stopped to watch this go on. High up it went, and they followed right after. It was cold going up. Seems Techno had an advantage of dealing with the cold air. Dream struggled to even handle a bit of that. It moved around in the clouds. Both are still following, despite the cold air. Then it went down and around the field. Again they followed, and it was close. So close to a winner. Before making an impact with the ground, they both got the golden snitch and managed to stop in time. Joel and Jimmy were shocked to see this. A tie between Techno and Dream. Jimmy was the first to respond. I've seen flying in my time, Dream, I've told you many times, you're a good flyer. But I just saw, I can't put to words. Only that it was the best flying ever. Seemed like you two might be really good seekers. Technomate seemed humbled, while Dream smiled and said, I think I found my favorite position. Techno looked at Dream, and then at Joel, Jimmy, and myself. Same here, he said. Dream gives back a witty response. If I join my house's Quidditch team, then I'll beat your house any day because of how good I am. Technoblade didn't seem phased. Dream on, Smiley. End of description. I tried my best to describe it. Hopefully seeing it makes more sense, but yes, Joel and Jimmy were impressed. That's when I thought to move on to the actual Quidditch game, and they let the students pick the team. So each person had a voice. I thought it was brilliant because it meant everyone had a voice and was able to choose. Joel thought and each student knows their strengths and weaknesses, therefore they knew who they want their captain to be. Dream went with Joel, and so did George. Technoblade went with Jimmy. The match was nuts. Dream and Techno decided to be seekers. Joel and Jimmy did a good job helping the lost students pick a position they were good at. The rest were helping me referee. I mainly told them to keep an eye out for fouls that I pointed out, infighting, and any form of cheating. They responded well and moved quickly. Seems like doing a Quidditch match for the first lesson was a success. The game was tense. Dream and Techno were looking like crows finding a shiny object. Techno was able to help with the bludgers. He had a good swing. Dream did as well, but then but when he didn't, he led the bludger in circles until the beaters were ready to send them flying. The teams were tied at points. Thankfully, one of the students refereeing this game kept score. The snitch was all one team needed to win. Just that point boost alone would get them to go far. Watching that game may not be good for my heart, but it was worth watching Technoblade and Dream go from being support to seeker in a split second. I was at the edge of my broom the whole time. Dream being a speedy boy on that broom and chasing the snitch. Technoblade, meanwhile, would make Dream's broom go in a different direction due to the force behind the kick. This gave Dream an obstacle by needing to catch up, but Techno, luckily, wasn't the type to take Dream out. At least not yet. Don't worry though, he didn't. Techno was ahead and then Dream caught up to him in no time flat. The snitch was already teasing the future seekers. Jimmy and Joel were at the edge of their seats. It was funny that people were placing bets while trying to continue the game. After 5 minutes, the snitch got cornered between Dream and Technoblade on opposite sides. Technoblade was just an inch closer to the snitch. I caught it. Dream was only a second too late. I got the sense that Dream wasn't happy about that. After that, the game was over. Jimmy was so happy to finally have his win after a while. Joel was usually wins most times. If my memory is correct, last time I checked, Joel won 20 times within the fall term and 15 times in the spring term. In short, Jimmy has the worst luck with Joel. But the rivalry at least helps students' behavior issues in some way. Techno was drawing more attention to himself, but I think that was okay. I think he was okay with that. But I could tell he wasn't used to that yet. Right now, that time was starting to rain, just as Joel started to touch his bottom. Yeah, don't ask. It's best if you don't. So, classes for the first years were pushed to next class time, combined with another. Jimmy had a thought of teaching the third years first to have the new first years get an idea. They asked me to come to this class to make sure that things go smoothly. I agreed to this, knowing that this would be good to see at least. Please wait for my next report to find out more details. Hopefully you don't have to read through... You don't have too much to read through this time. Crowfather, out. Okay. Alright. Let me catch up with the chat. Alright, let's first do this. Then go here. And then put some... Oh, I could just do it up here. See? No, TTS is gone. Yeah, sorry, it is gone. I can hear now. Yay! What's the fanfic link for chapter 1 and 2? Oh. You just type exclamation mark Hogwarts. It will send you to chapter 1. But up top there's a thing. There's like either actually I'll just show you right now. What am I doing? Okay. Alright. So you got this. Previous chapter will lead you straight back to chapter 1. So right here, you'll get next chapter, lead you to chapter 2, and chapters 3. I only have 3 chapters so far. Yeah, I only have 3 chapters. Can you send it to me in Discord? I'll send you a new TTS thing for Twitch since it no longer works. Yeah. Oh. Okay, because I was going to make a Nightbot command for the fanfic link, so okay. Yeah, it's fine. I did this a long time ago. See? And it has all 3 chapters. It just, you can go to either next chapter or like the chapter index. It literally, either way it works. Yeah, I found the new TTS, so it's a different link. Cool. Okay. I pinned it so I can fix that later. Right now, we are going to move on. And to do that, I need to move this to Cult of the Lamb. Then update this. Updated it. Okay. And I just refresh the page. So sad I can't use TTS. The thing is, I don't want to spend all strain trying to set it up. So we're gonna have to go old school for right now. I will, however, leave the lo-fi music on because I need to refill my water bottle before I start. So we'll all just hang out here and we will